Hello and welcome back to Knights of Honor, and this is going to be a very short and final episode. I want to use this episode as a bit of a, not a official review, but a look back at what this game is and from the time where it came out. I think in overall, Knights of Honor is a good game. I don't think I have much to tell about it. Thing is, and this is a problem that I have in particular. What Knights of Honor does, it does very well, but not much depth. And you see that especially if you are used to playing games like Crusader Kings 2, Europa Universalis, and even Medieval Total War. Well, the second one mostly. See, I've been researching a bit of the game in the background, and while there are some in-depth mechanics, they are, I wouldn't call shallow, but it's fairly simple and not as detailed compared to the games that it had to challenge with. And I might explain why it is never really kicked off. I think it's a very good base of a game, but I think if they ever go for a second version, there is room for a lot more. One of the problems that I'm talking about here is the fact that your units are not that interesting. You're stuck with what you have. That's it. There is no upgrade. Like, these are your swordsmen. You will not get better swordsmen. You will not advance through time. These are things that I would like to see improved. And this makes the long run of the game a little bit, I don't know, weird. You're locked into a very small amount of armies. Even though we're making a crap ton of bank, we can probably cancel out some of these guys. You need at least one of these, and then the rest of them are just going to be marshals. But your troops don't have any upkeep costs, so you could just full up all your castles and go to war with whomever you want. And that's Audition being a dickhead. Don't worry about that. So the game feels shallow. Well, it's clearly not. There's a lot of things to be done, but like building feels like there's a missed opportunity here where you can get like skill armorers, but this only works on units that wear skill armor, or at least it allows you to train certain units. Like, why does this not, give me more? Like, just an upgrade here, just some siege defense, that's it. Why? Why don't I get the opportunity to recruit halberd units? And I think this is where my gripe, so to speak, between quotation marks, the game comes up. I enjoy playing it, don't get me wrong. I think it just doesn't have as much longevity as I had hoped for. There's a second point here, though. The game does have multiplayer, and then there's but that's purely for the battle systems that is in the game. And if you've watched all the episodes so far, you've seen a little bit of the battle system, but as you may notice, it is a very shallow system if you compare it to games like Total War. And I think Total War does this just a lot better. And it feels like it's touching upon a lot of things that a lot of games do, but all of them do that respective thing kind of better. There are interesting things, and I like how these provinces are working, where villages are a lot more important. This is something what Total War could learn from, but they have their unique things that are really cool. But I think it just lacks a little bit in depth if you compare it to the rest of them, and it's just one very cool mechanic that is actually now in the latest Total War. Apparently, I haven't played it yet. I don't have the money to buy it, so me. And I'm not really in a Total War mood right now, so okay. So Total War Saga, the Kingdom of England, whatever it's called, it has the primary town for that region, and then it's got several villages that you can raid, and that will impact the economy of that system which you actually occupied, I believe. That's a cool system, and that actually falls in a little bit with this, but why is this so shallow? Why is there no more units to be recruited? Why can I not do a lot of things, basically? You have the family dynasty tree and all that kind of stuff, which is actually interesting. But CK2 does this so much better, and I'm not asking a game like, hey, combine CK2 and Total War and get the most perfect medieval strategy game probably ever made with AI that is not functioning in the map or anywhere else, but that's beside the fucking point. That's the downside of complexity. You have to build AI to work with it. But I think this game, even for when the time it came out, it misses a couple of things. And I think one big thing that could fix this was if it had the multiplayer campaign, which it does not. And that saddened me. We were checking it out with a friend of mine, and we're like, hey, maybe we can play this in multiplayer campaign, because that seems like a very interesting thing to do. So you can more coordinate like tactics and battles and all that kind of stuff. It's just the battle system, and the battle system is so shallow. maybe on higher difficulties, but I think you still fall into the same problem. Like, the units that you have, that's it. These are the units you're stuck with. There is no upgrade to be had here. Which, I don't know, it feels sad, you know? Speaking about Kingdom Creation is a fun, I think, addition, but we are stuck as Scotland. Even if we conquer the entirety of England, it is not possible for us to gain or to create the Kingdom of England. So after a while, I think you just reach like 3 or 4 marshals, you start murdering around, rampaging, everything. Yeah. If I had to guess, you probably start steamrolling, because I don't think the AI is that good in warfare. Just fill up your castles with enough units and you'll be golden. Like, for an example, I don't think there's a single AI that I've seen that actually has built walls so far. Like, they build big cities and everything, but walls? Nope, nobody seems... It might be the easy difficulty that they just don't prioritize. Hey, we've got a wall here. Seems the Italians know about walls, at least some of them. But I think I've made my point. I think the game is a good game, and if you enjoy a lighter, more streamlined version of like either Total War or Crusader Kings, I think this game will perfectly fall within that balance. However, I do enjoy the in-depthness of Total War games as well as the in-depthness of the Crusader Kings games, and that's where this game is just like, it gives me the thought and feeling like, okay, I get it. But why am I not playing Crusader Kings? Or why am I not playing Medieval Total War? And that's not a good thing to have. But for I get it. There are people that that have seen me play Crusader Kings 2, and that have friends of mine have been trying to get into it, and they just like, how do you grasp the entirety of the thing and not just die over and over again and get your family wiped out? How do you even win wars? The most basic shit. And it's difficult for me to grasp because I've been playing... It goes for most Paradox games. Like, there's a point where you need to learn it, right? But if you, after a while, you get used to how those games work. I think Stellaris is a bit of an exception because that fairly gently pushes you into the direction. It's a lot more forgiving, especially for newer players. But like Hearts of Iron is a bit simpler, but it has still got a lot of depth and to it. But Crusader Kings, especially EU4, if I talk to people that have just started playing it, and they're like, yeah, I go well for a while and then I just die. And this, I get why this game would end up being a lot more attractive, because this game is, I think, a little bit more forgiving, especially if you don't play, like, I don't know, Scotland, and just pick somebody who starts up a little bit more powerful. But hey, we did pretty good, all things considering, so, yeah, I am not overly... I like the game, see, that's a really difficult thing, but I like the game, definitely. But like I said, it gives me the feeling like, why am I not playing those other games who have a much better combat system? Maybe not as in-depth province system as these guys with the villagers and that kind of stuff, but there is like a lot of the building is there in there as well. Or the large-scale intrigue thing that Crusader Kings bring, the family and the power. This is just middle managing everything at the same time, which might be an interesting balance, but I usually tend to look either for one or the other and not both at the same time, because I think here they both fall a little bit flat in comparison. Yeah. I think my biggest sorrow point came when I decided to not continue, was the fact when I learned that this is the units that you have. You're done. This is it. There is no other units that you can grab. There is no upgrades, and that just felt like such a well, I wouldn't call it heartbreaking thing. Oh my god. But it's just like, okay, see, why? We did gain access to light cavalry all of a sudden, but I don't think we have... Yeah, we don't have it up here north. I don't know why. It's just not there. And the game, in that case, also barely does explain a lot of things. In that case, it is truly a Paradox game. It does not explain everything. No, the game's cool. I was hoping more from the advancements, that this would be more... like a research tree, a tech tree, actual time progression. Going through the ages, because in the game you select an age and that's where you're stuck in. Like, years do pass by apparently because your rulers die, you get kids and all kinds of stuff, but time doesn't actually advance. A bit of a shame, but And these advancements are, they're small buffs. But I was hoping for something better, more impressive. Just, I don't know. This game would have benefited greatly, I think, if it had a multiplayer campaign, especially in the time of release, because I believe it was released in 2001, and that would have been a very unique mechanic. And I think it's possible in the setting that it has. You just don't want to speed up as much. Or just remove the entire multiplayer component and just go more in depth on the single player. But that's, I think this game is also built from an age where everything needed to have multiplayer and single player. So multiplayer usually was either tacked on or single player was either tacked on. In this age, usually was multiplayer. There was a afterthought. Bit of a shame, but there you have it. So, what are we looking at? Wednesday. Yeah. We're gonna do some more Stellaris, because Paradox has released a lot of information, and their new story pack DLC is coming out the 22nd of May. That is 2 days from this video going online. No, 1 day. This one is going online on the 21st. So the cutoff point seemed perfect for me. I had something else lined up, and then just Paradox came around the corner. Like, nope, we're gonna release the Stellaris content, which apparently has 4 or 5 times more anomalies to discover, and a lot of them we reworked, L-gates, and a lot of interesting stuff. So I'm gonna look at that. So with that, my official recommendation for this game is, if you like what you've seen and you think it's interesting, but Total War or Crusader Kings is slightly more too complex for you, buy this game, because it has a lot of good stuff and less of the in-depth hassle of micromanaging Excel sheets. So with that, I want to thank you guys for watching and see you guys in the next series. Have a very good day. Bye-bye.